If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in the next year, you've got a big problem to confront, and it's something you are likely totally unaware of. The real estate industry is not your friend. So I'm going to explain what this really means and show you what to do about it. It's because of the way the entire real estate industry is set up, and it's been this way for decades. It is completely broken, and it's due to the incentives and industry focus of the business itself. So I'm going to peel back the curtain and explain what's actually going on behind the scenes. Just don't tell my brokerage what I'm saying here, because I might then end up having to look for a new one and they won't be happy. The focus of the real estate companies isn't to deliver expert level results for home buyers and sellers. It's not to help them take control of their own real estate journey and make sure they recognize all the landmines and the opportunities. It is certainly not to make sure that the clients are fully equipped to ensure that the table with all the money on it tilts their way and that all the potential dollars slide to them. The sole focus of the real estate companies is to capture the business, the signature on the contract of the home buyer and the seller, and then to get the commission, and hopefully get that commission as soon as possible. Period. That is it. That's the goal. And it's frankly the goal of 99% of the agents out there as well. In fact, it's not just their goal, it's their obsession. And that is a big problem for you. Now, the real estate industry has been in the news a lot over the last couple of years. Multi-billion-dollar commission lawsuits. And the industry players, all of them, settled. Otherwise, they were going to lose. So billions of dollars were paid out. And then the big mergers. My massive 100-year-old company was bought out earlier this year. 25% of active real estate agents across the country are all working for brokerages owned by Compass, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, Corcoran, ERA, Better Homes and Gardens. Almost 350,000 agents, $1.6 billion. And then they paid about $500 million for Christie's International the year before. And just a week and a half ago, Real Brokerage bought Remax, $880 million for it. And then you add in billions of dollars in advertising. None of it is really about maximizing money savings on a purchase or maximizing the sale price on a listing. They're not showing you who has the best framework and strategies and tactics for doing it. It's for who gets the most contracts signed and the most commission dollars. And then it just goes all the way down. If you're going to take a look at my inbox from the real estate trainers and the brokerages trying to recruit me, all about prospecting and client acquisition. By far, the number one question from my real estate coaching clients when I start working with them, the issue that dominates their thinking every day is, how do I get more leads? And you know what? You are the leads. It's never, how can I get better at helping my clients avoid these landmines and costly mistakes? For the entire industry, everything is only about getting your signature on a contract and then your commission. The training and education calendar for my own brokerage, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation. Now, sometimes they do call it finding clients, but that's lead generation. If you go to the agent portal for the state real estate associations across the country and then the National Association of Realtors, down small in the corner are workshops on updated legal or contract issues, but above the fold topics for the big events coming up, all about generating more business. The obsession, and that is the obsession, and that is the correct word, it isn't getting you optimal results and making sure that you're using strategies and tactics to maximize your financial gain. It's just about getting you. The fundamental idea behind all the marketing and training and everything else in my business can be boiled down to one statement. It's not the best realtor that gets hired, it's the best known. That phrase has been posted by about 11 trillion agents today on one platform or another. It's the most repeated encouragement and considered the fundamental genius idea for real estate marketing. And they're admitting it. It's not the best agent that's important. It's the one that's the most well known. Hey, I'm the neighborhood specialist. Everybody knows me, right? That's why all the social media and marketing for agents is about them and not you and your journey. It's not, hey, look, I have a system and multiple strategies that could save you $40,000 or $100,000 when you buy or sell a home, right? It's, hey, I'm doing a funny dance in a kitchen, or look at my brand new car. Please hire me. Even the real estate shows that pretty much everybody watches, right? It's the agent looking like the cover of a magazine. And then after that scene, what's the number that comes up on the screen? Total dollars saved by this client or total extra dollars made by that client? No, of course not. It's total commission earned. The biggest real estate coaching event in the entire country is Tom Ferry's. Now, you may have not heard of Tom Ferry, but every single real estate agent in the nation knows who he is, and they probably all got an email from him today. I know I certainly did. He's by far the most influential and most popular real estate trainer in America. Millions of dollars a month in coaching and training revenue from realtors. And his big annual success summit, it happens every single summer. Thousands and thousands of agents show up. It's literally the event of the year. $999 for the general admission and $1,999 for the VIP experience. Now, here's the above the fold description. Stay ahead of the market. 3 days that transform your business. Marketing. New campaigns for generating listing leads in today's market. Scripts and negotiations. Close more deals with scripts that work. AI strategies. 10x your productivity in half the time. Business systems. Build repeatable systems that generate income. Energy, connections, and motivation. And down at the bottom, the market is shifting. The summit gives agents the powerful mid-year reset to win more market share. So that's everything that they're going to be talking about. Did you hear anything here about helping buyers get the lowest possible price or to learn how to get absolute top dollar for their listings? No. And they're not going to be mentioned all weekend. It's about better ways to get your signature on a contract and increase their commission rate. And frankly, this is why there is a disconnect between the general public and realtors. We can be honest about that. This is why there's that ick feeling about real estate agents. It's why realtors rank so high on surveys about the least respected professions in the country. Nobody trusts them, and sometimes rightly so. Realtors, lawyers, used car salesmen, all kind of the same animal, right? They get paid when you buy or sell, and there's always that pressure that's built in. And they want you to buy and sell now because they want to get paid now. And here's something about realtors that you may not know. Roughly 70% of agents across the country sell 5 or fewer houses a year. That's less than one house every other month. They're basically part-timers. Now, you would never hire a part-time lawyer to represent you in a court case or a part-time doctor to perform surgery on you because the risk, it's way too big. There's too much on the line to do that. Yet the majority of people hire realtors that are just like this because they don't know any better. Either they know the agent, or they're related to them, or, hey, they've got big, massive sales numbers, so that's mean they've got to be great, right? And my point here, and I want to make sure that you get this, regardless of the realtor you hire, or especially if you're going to try to go it alone, you need to control your own journey and know exactly what takes to be done to buy or sell a house like a pro. Now, I'm not saying here that you shouldn't hire a realtor. There are good ones, and part of my system is helping folks find one if they want. But my point is that you should know how to operate at a pro level, to know what that looks like, and to be fully prepared to control your own real estate journey before you hire a realtor, or even before you even think about buying or selling a house. Because ultimately, you need to be the one driving the car, knowing how you're going to get to your destination so you can make sure that it's being done right. Real estate isn't like the shoulder surgery that I had a few years ago. If the doc got that wrong, my shoulder would still hurt afterwards when I lifted my arm. If my brakes are squeaking, I take it in, the mechanic works on it, tells me it's done, But if they're still squeaking, I know that they're not fixed. Now, real estate, it doesn't work that way. On a real estate deal, unless you know and control what is happening and what is supposed to be happening, the mistakes and missed opportunities, the landmines exploding underneath you, you never even knew that they happened, and that money is gone forever. Let me give you two recent examples that really clarify the importance of you taking control of your real estate journey so that you can buy or sell like a pro. So about a month and a half ago, some clients saw a house. So let me read the details for you. This is from the MLS here. It's in Costa Mesa. Exceptionally upgraded, boasting beautiful curb appeal, beautifully remodeled kitchen, inviting living room, upgraded with new vanities, a turnkey home, defined beautiful outdoor entertaining space, and an incredible opportunity that has been stylishly upgraded. Okay, that's what it said. Sounds good, right? So when we got there, the house was a complete mess. It was disgusting adjacent. The furniture was totally different than was in the pictures. The upgrades were at least 15 years old and very tired. Furthermore, the house was an active substance abuse recovery home. Now, those things are certainly important given the world that we live in, but a heads up would have been nice. Hey, this is an active business location that's being used as a recovery home, by the way. No, it was such a dump, and the vibe was so bad. There was a dude still there, and my clients were totally freaked out by the whole thing. Now, the sellers had already done a $100,000 price cut, but there's no way that that thing is going to sell for anywhere near the 1.3 that they're still asking. But here's the essential point, and this goes to why you need to take control of your own real estate journey. The listing agent is a top 10 agent in Orange County by total sales volume. There are only a handful of agents in Orange County that sell more houses. So you think about the seller of that house. There's no way they have any idea what a disaster their listing is. They hired one of the top selling agents in the county, but it's going to cost them probably 15 to 20% of the value of the home because of the way they're bringing it to market. He's trusted his home sale to a top producing expert, and the way they're handling it, it's going to cost them $150,000 to maybe $225,000. My client couldn't wait to get out of that house, but he's off there somewhere confident that he hired an expert, and he has no idea of the money that's just hemorrhaging all over the marketplace. And then, story's not over. Last week, I showed different clients a different house in a different city from the same listing agent. And I have that MLS printing here, okay? Absolutely stunning pool home that is ideally situated with beautiful upgraded flooring and numerous other upgrades. Abundant maple cabinetry. So we get to the house. Now, this wasn't as disgusting and scary as the previous one, but again, the description of the house and the expectation that we had walking into it were totally different than what we saw. Most of the house was completely original. All the flooring that was done, there was gaps all the way around at the baseboard in every single room. The maple cabinetry, still original from 30 years ago. We absolutely laughed all the way through this. Turnkey wasn't. High-end luxury upgrades weren't. This agent set a Nordstrom level expectation, and we experienced something between a Walmart and a garage sale. But here's another seller, hired a top producing successful agent, and has no idea that they're going to be losing out tens and tens of thousands of dollars because of the positioning. On the other hand, if either one of these sellers had just a very small taste of what I am doing with Fix My Realtor, which is helping equip buyers and sellers to know what buying or selling like a pro looks like, it would be a totally different world for them. They've basically delegated control of their real estate journey to a professional, and they are getting absolutely wrecked. because they have no idea to recognize what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Now, the second story I have goes to the exact same point, but it's on the home buying side. So last fall, I met this wonderful couple at an open house. They were so young and so cute and excited about buying their first house. I immediately loved them and wanted to help them. But after chatting with them for a bit, they kind of sheepishly told me that the wife's mom has her license and used to do a lot of real estate. So we joked for a quick second about how awkward the Thanksgivings and Christmases would be for the rest of their lives if they fired the mom and hired me, and so they left. But then the mom called me, the agent, joked herself about the kids almost firing her and hiring me, and then she asked me a bunch of questions about the marketplace, the approach to strategies and tactics to buy, how to prepare and write and present an offer. She was basically asking for a coaching session on how to help her clients, her kids, how to go about it the right way to buy a home and get the lowest possible price from a seller, because she didn't know. Then she called me a couple of more times over the next few weeks, including one call after a house they didn't get that they wanted. So I looked her up. She has years of history with a lot of sales, but she hasn't sold a house in almost a decade. And this was the agent who was helping them. And frankly, it broke my heart because they had no idea what to do themselves, no idea on how to buy a house like a pro. And they put their hope into someone that they obviously trusted, their mom, but also someone that had no idea what they were doing. Given the price range at which they were looking, some seller was going to end up with about 75 grand more in their pocket than they should have, because these two sweet people were not in control of their own real estate journey. They were barely operating at an amateur level, even though they had hired a pro. And this is the most important point. They had no idea that it was happening. It was brutal. These sellers that hired the top producer, they'll never know the fortune it cost them. And that agent is going to add 2 more sales to their I'm a top agent resume and all their marketing flyers. And this sweet couple, they're going to end up getting the house that they want at some point, and they're never going to know the fortune that it cost them. And of course, their mom, she'll be happy that she helped them buy a house, but she won't have any idea that her lack of skill and knowledge actually harmed her kids. But the news is actually worse. And I hope you're really paying attention to what I'm saying here. These stories, they're actually just the tip of the iceberg, and they're not unique at all. These sorts of things are happening each day, all day long, in every state, county, and city in the country. Good people are getting screwed by this broken industry, and it's costing them all a fortune. I see it firsthand week after week. Let me explain to you why understanding this fact about the broken real estate industry is such a big deal and why you need to figure out what to do about it. And knowing what to do about it needs to happen before you start your real estate journey, whether you're thinking of buying or selling or both. And it also applies to whether or not you have a realtor right now. The amount of money involved right now in a real estate journey is likely to be the largest transaction of your life to this point. It's probably terrifying to you. And if it's not, it should be. If I were in your shoes today and I didn't know what I know, it would be absolutely terrifying to me. I can tell you that. The average house across the country sells for about 435 grand. And on any home, there can be a price value range of about 10%. Let's call it $40,000. If you look up any home value on Zillow, any address, way at the bottom of the Zillow estimate, there's going to show a range there, and it's going to be about 10%, right? So it's about $40,000 that's on the table for the average home across America. If you're in that average range, that's 40 grand that could be yours, or it could be in the wallet of the person across the table from you. Now, if your market is more expensive than average, then it's more money that we're talking about. If the market's like mine here in Orange County, it's almost triple the national average, then we are talking about a swing of over $100,000. Do the math in your head right now for your target price range. 10% of that should get your attention. That's the potential amount of money that's on the table here that you can lose or you can gain. And this is the same thing whether you're thinking of buying or selling, right? Either that money is yours or it goes to the other side of the table and it's gone forever. And this is your money that we're talking about. All of those dollars would disappear if you make mistakes that you shouldn't have. Or all those dollars go into your pocket if you do everything right. And if the home prices themselves, as high as they are, don't terrify you, then this swing in potential outcome definitely should. What could you do with 40 grand if you didn't have to pay a higher price to a seller? Or if a buyer offered you that much more money for your house, $40,000, retirement accounts or savings, vacation, health expenses, upgrades to the house, whatever it would be for you, I think we can agree it's better that that money stays with you than losing it. So everything you do from here on out in whatever your real estate journey involves, you have to have this number in mind, whether it's the 40,000 average amount, the 100 grand or so like Orange County, or the number that you just came up with in your head, because that's what you stand to gain or lose. And as I clearly laid out for you, that 40 to 100 grand or whatever, it's not something that the real estate companies care about, nor do most agents. If you care about it, and I can't believe you wouldn't, then you have to be the one responsible for the solutions to make sure that you get it. You need to be in control, and you need to be able to know what should and shouldn't be happening during every single step of your real estate journey. So what do you do now? What's the solution? So let me tell you. Historically, there have been two ways to go about buying or selling a home. And this is the way everybody, including all of you right now, have always thought about it. You hire a realtor and hope that they'll properly guide you and execute for you. This is most people. Or you do it yourself and hope that you'll properly execute for yourself. And usually this is motivated by disgust about agents or just trying to save money on commission. Fewer people take this route, but neither one of these actually solves the real problem, the broken system, giving you the control and the knowledge of what exactly is supposed to be happening. So this is why I created something totally different and new, and it's a third option. It's called Fix My Realtor. And this works whether or not you're working with a realtor, going to be working with a realtor at some point, or want to go it alone without one. The mission isn't to be anybody's agent. It has nothing to do with that at all, but to help you independently on your team without the pressure and the distortion of an agent that needs a commission or a representation agreement, so that you'll know exactly how to control your own journey, recognize and avoid costly mistakes, and see and then seize opportunities when they pop up in front of you. In other words, to equip and enable you to know exactly what it takes to tip that table towards you so that $40,000 or the $100,000 or whatever it is, that money slides towards you. That's the point. So let me quickly tell you about how I discovered this third way. So years ago, one of my very best friends hired me to be his realtor and sell his house up in Los Angeles, which we did for a record amount. So they then moved out of state and began to hunt for a new home. But he called me, upset and frustrated, because he didn't really know how to go about it at any level of expertise, other than just going out and trying to find a house that he liked. Also, he was really disappointed with all the realtors that he'd met. He felt they were basically amateurs and just Uber drivers with a lockbox key. So he called me, pretty pissed off. And he said, dude, you just helped me with all these strategies and tactics to get top dollar for my house and we killed it. But not one agent here has hinted at anything like this to help me save money buying with them. Not a word. So he asked me if I could help him, to show him exactly, to teach him the strategies and tactics to use so that he could get the very best possible price on his home purchase journey. So that's exactly what we did. So I helped him understand all the various things necessary to buy like a pro. And then throughout the entire process of looking for homes and ultimately buying one, I walked through the entire journey with him. I was basically on his shoulder as his private guide and his mentor, helping him make decisions and execute all the way along the way. What happened was exactly what we intended, and it was so much fun. He ended up getting a house for far less than the agent there originally told him was even remotely possible. He saved about 70 grand on an $800,000 house because he was playing a different game. And he was playing it in a totally different way with what ended up being this third way in Fix My Realtor. He put into practice the exact things that I helped him understand, things that he had no idea about, nor did any of the agents have any idea about that he was talking to, including the one that he hired. In fact, there were a few conflicts with the agent about certain aspects of what should be done, and I helped him kind of walk through those too. I basically helped him drag the agent by the collar up from trying to pay amateur level checkers up to grandmaster level chess. Ultimately, the realtor's the employee and has to do what he's told. And the fact that this agent wasn't aware of a better way to do things didn't make any difference. Look, you're my agent, you work for me, and we're going to do this my way because it's better. That's essentially what happened, and I helped him do that. And it was fantastic. Without it, he would not have been in control. He would have put that 70 grand into the seller's pocket, and he would have had no idea that it happened. So it really wouldn't have mattered what realtor he hired, and that was the goal. I helped him take control and buy like a pro, and then he crushed it. So this was how Fix My Realtor started. And it's the new third way to help people get the result they want by controlling their own journey and fight that broken system. No longer will it be just them hoping they're being guided correctly and crossing their fingers that these invisible landmines aren't sucking tens of thousands of dollars from them. It's them knowing exactly how to buy or sell like a pro and to instantly see when things aren't being done the way they should, and then knowing exactly how to fix them. And if need be, to even fix their realtor. So let me tell you one quick final story. If you're a buyer, this should keep you up at night. So I had a buyer consult with folks, and I was showing them my system. I was interviewing for the job to be their realtor. Now, these guys were super resistant and skeptical about realtors in general. And of course, I don't blame them, right? So then they told me that they'd been trying to buy houses by going to various listing agents to get the listing agent to represent them as well, thinking that that would give them an insider track and also save some money. Not a bad idea if you know what you're doing as a pro-level buyer. Anyway, so they'd been in escrow on a house, but it fell apart over a disagreement about repairing some plumbing problems. So we are in the portion of the consultation where I'm going through the various recipe ingredients that are essential to buy like a pro. And we got to discussing the purchase contract itself. So I asked them to pull up the offer paperwork on that deal. Now, this is something I do all the time when possible, because I know that immediately looking at their deal, I'm able to quickly identify amateur level moves and show them the landmines that they stepped on. Sure enough, it happened here, but in this case, I discovered a catastrophic landmine. So in the section on cost allocation, who's responsible for paying what? The listing agent, who is also functioning as their agent, had filled it out in such a way that they were going to be paying for all of the seller's transaction costs, all of them. And as I pointed it out, they got really defensive. No. This guy was awesome. We totally trusted him, and he worked so hard to make sure that it was a good and fair deal for us and the sellers. He was the neighborhood guy. Everybody knows him. We absolutely loved him. I'm like, well, maybe so, but look here and here and here. Had that deal gone through, it would have cost them $14,000. They couldn't believe it. and they had absolutely no idea. The only solution to things like this is for you to have complete control of your real estate journey and for you to know exactly what should be happening every single step along the way. So now you have two choices. You can take this information I've given you and try to figure out your next steps on your own. Frankly, most home buyers and home sellers don't have the level of clarity that you now have here after just listening to me for a couple of minutes. And these home buyers and sellers are going to end up being your competition. So that's good. On the other hand, you can go a step further and you can get more help from me. So I have 3 levels of help to offer you, and you can find all 3 at fixmyrealtor.com. The first level is for those that want a full-on shortcut right now and want my full help right away. The Advantage program that you're going to find there has 3 parts: live coaching and mentoring and advising with me throughout the remainder of your journey. A how-to lesson plan so that you can get all the details, the what, the why, the when, and the how from the very beginning, literally right now, all the way through the end of your journey. And then a private community with 24/7 access to others that are going down the exact same path as you are, with my active involvement as well. This is not just hey, get my book and good luck to you. It's me guiding and walking with you through the entire process to make sure that you win. It's the ultimate shortcut to guarantee that you will buy or sell like a pro. But if you prefer to slowly wade in rather than get the full benefit, I do a free weekly workshop, and the details are also on the site at fixmyrealtor.com. And at the workshop, I explain the key recipe ingredients for a successful home purchase or sale and why they're important. It's about an hour, and there's absolutely nothing like it. And then lastly, there's also a tool on the site to determine how ready you actually are to buy or sell. The Real Estate Readiness Assessment that's there, it's free, it takes like 4 minutes, but then you'll immediately know what level of risk you're facing at your current level of awareness and knowledge about the real estate market and how to buy or sell. You're going to instantly get a report card that shows your strengths and weaknesses in 4 key areas. All of these options can easily be found at fixmyrealtor.com. If you've got questions about any of this, please DM me on Instagram at mphaus. And now the next video coming up here to watch, it's about the Readiness Assessment and why it's so important. Take a look at that.